I'm the Wrestling Man, and welcome to the channel. Today I'm doing my fastlane results video, and I've got to say, I was actually kind of impressed with both the way fastlane ended and with how well I actually predicted what was going to happen. Couple of little setbacks on that. One of the reasons it's taking me so long to get to this is just the tag title match. I wasn't sure how to label that as far as my predictions went, but let's get into the video. So we had a opener of Shinsuke Nakamura versus Rusev, and outside of the opening being some hilarity, there wasn't really a whole lot in this match that was really good. I mean, they had a real good back and forth in there. I'm someone who didn't see Shinsuke back when he was in Japan, so I didn't really know his skill level, and haven't really watched a whole lot of SmackDown or wrestling in general since he's come along. However, I must admit, I was impressed with his sheer athleticism. I did love that little joke moment where Shinsuke ducked underneath something that Rusev was doing, I forget what, and it resulted in Nakamura doing this weird, goofy little walk away. Had a couple of false finishes in there, couple of near falls. I love the fact that, it took two of the Kinshasas to put Rusev away. Maybe they're going to start pushing something, because Rusev did look in defeat, a little strong going into this, or coming out of this, so I'm kind of curious. That super kick from Rusev, man, that thing looked like it almost took Nakamura's head off legitimately. Other than that, the match was okay. Wouldn't say it was the greatest. It did kind of feel a little rushed, like it was thrown together for no real reason other than, hey, look, we're putting these guys in a match because because at least one of them's involved in WrestleMania. My first wrong prediction was this one: Bobby Roode versus Randy Orton for the US title. I had actually thought that Orton was going to lose, and then it was going to lead into some sort of triple threat or something like that at Mania to conclude the story, but oh my god. Like many of the matches on this card, it had a lot of back and forth moments. Love the fact that, every time they went for a finisher, they were able to counter it. It shows that they're really building this story good. I've always been a fan of Orton's since, his post-Evolution days, and I've got to really say, one of the things I've always loved is that little middle rope Draper DDT thing that he does, and I love it. Love it. At one point, I love the fact that Bobby Roode hits this freaking spine buster, and it makes me think, holy cow, Arn Anderson, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, as we went into the finish, that just RKO that just made me think back to WrestleMania 30, where Seth Rollins went for his curb stomp, got this serious hang time. Orton pops up, gets this serious hang time with him, and just nails the RKO. Not quite as much hang time here, but it's still impressive to see Orton hit the RKO from a falling opponent. And with that, Orton wins. However, Jinder Mahal comes out, starts to beat down Orton. Bobby Roode comes in, hits his glorious DDT on both Mahal and Orton. I think, number one, they are going to be turning Bobby Roode heel, and number two, they are leading into something bigger for WrestleMania, maybe a triple threat, which seems to be a very big thing on the SmackDown card right now, of triple threat matches for Mania. Match number 3, I wasn't really too big on. That was the Carmella and Natalya versus Naomi and Becky Lynch. I gotta say, number one, I'm not a fan of Naomi by any means, and Her entrance in particular does not look the greatest. However, a lot of the girls in this match looked very athletic with what they were doing. I think it was Carmella hitting that kind of half-baked Bronco Buster a little bit. No. Just, if you're going to do it, go all the way and do the full Bronco Buster. Otherwise, just no. The finish seemed a little sloppy, but then again, this match seemed a little rushed and thrown together in the first place. So, well, we'll see where it goes from here. And here we go, the SmackDown Tag Title match, the match that really is giving me issues. Because my prediction was that the Usos would win, and that they would set up some sort of WrestleMania match for the Usos against the Bludgeon Brothers at Mania. However, instead, just, dear Lord, I love the back and forth. New Day getting a couple of nice hot tags in there. I didn't really see the finish coming of the Bludgeon Brothers coming out and interrupting the match, bringing it to a no contest. So in a way, I'm partially right. The Usos do retain. And this is now setting up for a triple threat tag team match on Mania, or at Mania, for the titles. But we'll see how SmackDown Live goes tonight to determine that one. I also loved how strong Harper and Rowan were looking. And I've got to say, if Woods being carted out was not fake, then, dear Lord, I hope you're okay, Woods. Alright, now for the SmackDown Women's title match. We've got Charlotte versus Ruby Riott. And the match was okay. Riott has cleaned up a little bit in recent years as far as her in-ring ability. But, dear Lord, woman, learn how to cut a promo. Also, nifty little botch moment there. I don't know if the camera's just in a bad spot or what, but all of a sudden you kind of see Ruby's foot go right in front of Charlotte's face, and yeah, either bad camera placement or just horrible move placement. I did love that moment though in there where you see Becky Lynch and Naomi come out. They get goaded into the ring only to be sent into the back. And while that's going on, of course, you've got the rest of the Riott Squad attacking Charlotte. And while that's going on, the ref apparently notices them or just decides, what the hell, I'll throw them out too, and kicks out the Riott Squad. Charlotte, of course, gets the win. But it was an okay match nonetheless. And of course, Asuka coming out, just proving once again, one of my predictions was Asuka going to SmackDown and challenging Charlotte. Well, she's not on SmackDown yet, but she has made the challenge to Charlotte. So we'll see how this goes tonight. The six-pack challenge, I've got to admit, I see a few storylines coming off of it. Of course, AJ Styles winning and everything, but more importantly, a possible triple threat or tag team match, which Bodyslam.net has stated that they think it's going to be a tag match between Shane and Vince versus Zayn and Owens. But there is this factor that, Vince is like 70 years old and can't probably take some of these bumps anymore. We'll see where that goes. Of course, opening up, not very happy. Just the fact that, Cena hits the AA on everybody except for Styles, and then somehow manages to still lose, kind of helped with the match, I guess. But it does kind of alter one of my predictions, which was that Cena wants that legacy moment, that thing that will cement Cena into the annals of WWE history. Either another title run or something big for WrestleMania. There is rumor that he's going to face Taker. We'll see how that goes between now and then. With that being said, this was Fastlane. Overall, it was okay. I will admit a few of the things could have been changed, but my favorite match in the night was the tag title match. And how that ended, just really setting up everything that's hopefully going to become from that. Of course, Asuka coming out, challenging Charlotte for Mania. That was another thing I loved. So we'll see how some of these matches go or how some of these storylines go in the future. With that being said, I am the Wrestling Man, wrestling fan for life. And as always, if you like what I do here, hit that like button. You want to see more, hit that subscribe button. If you want to know when all my videos come out, click that little bell, make it go ding 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 for my notifications. And don't be afraid to comment. See you guys later.